this was a miracle. The support and nurturing and care was something special. It's also about loneliness, and it's also about how we so much similar and connected in some ways. So I hope it's a show that opens conversation. Akiva is so passionate, so complex, so rich, so emotional, so much energy. I've worked with him before as an executive. I've never worked with him as a producer, and it was really the most exciting and invigorating because I had to keep up with him. Akiva is the crowded room, walking, breathing. There's so much going on in his head all the time, so it was incredible.
It was very challenging in a way that I wasn't expecting at all. It's also really exciting to be the entry point for the audience. The world, the setting, the things that everybody paid attention to. Apple really respected the filmmakers, and that's everything. It felt like they really cared to tell the story.
The Crowded Room is a psychological thriller. It unfolds after a young man played by Tom Holland is arrested after a shooting in New York City in 1979. The story unfolds through a series of interviews with Amanda Seyfried's character as she's tasked with uncovering his mysterious past, part of which involves his childhood. I play his mom from the time that he's 8 until he grows up, and ultimately the decisions that she makes and the mistakes that she makes lead to this terrible crime. This role terrified me. The things that it asked me to say and do, the state of denial that my character exists in, and the way that she teaches that denial to her child. Thinking about the blind spots that we can have as people, even if we love the people around us, sometimes we end up hurting them the most. I think that brought up deep things for me as a mother of 2 young kids. I love Apple TV+. It was a fantastic experience.
I played Jonny. He's kind of the homie of Danny, who is not exactly the best influence. The way that kind of we joked about it on set was, in high school, I think we all had that friend that just did a little more than we did, that made us feel all right with what we were up to. So I think my job with Danny is just to kind of push the line, so when he walks right up to it, even though that is farther than it should be, he doesn't feel so bad being there. What drew me to this project was it's really special to get to play a part where you're working with so many different sides of a person. And I definitely get to do that with my character, and Tom gets to do it with his. And the kind of way that, as people will find out, these all start to blend together.
I connected to this character because I was in the army, I was in the special forces. I know how to protect, and and this is why, and the abilities of fighting, you can see it on the show as well. So I think everything together was amazing, and the writing is so good. Tom is amazing. He's a great actor, so talented, and he's very kind. This is the most important thing. When I read the script, immediately I said I didn't know who's Akiva in the beginning. So immediately after I read it, I said I want to research this guy. He's such a talented person, and he was the best showrunner in the world.
These are the things that drew me to the project. Being able to work with Akiva, being able to work with my wife, Tom Holland, all these amazing actors, Emmy, Rossum, Chris Abbott, it's never-ending group of really extraordinary people. So my character, Matty, is this cop who's trying to figure out exactly what is going on in this situation that he's stumbled into. He's thinking that it might be something bigger than anything he's ever come across in his career, and he seeks out the help of this kind of revolutionary scientist who's working up at Columbia and ends up kind of falling for her. And that was the hardest part to act. That was really difficult for me.
It was an incredibly steep learning curve. Every day was like a masterclass. I had Alexandra, Akiva, Ali, all of our execs at Apple. They were so supportive and wonderful. They allowed me to figure out how and where the right times to produce are. So I had a great time. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited for the world to see it. I think the message that the show His carrying is really important. I think it's a really good time to talk about it. And I also was intoxicated by the challenge. I read the original like beat sheet, and it blew me away, and I was terrified. And for me, as someone that loves a challenge, when I feel terrified, it feels like something I should give a go. So I had to say yes.
I played a lot of bad guys, and this one was not your typical bad guy. And he was, I hate saying three-dimensional, but Akiva gave him some dimension, and then Cornell and even Tom. It was great because I got to give him some life, some dimension, and I served the purpose of allowing Tom's character Danny to heal. Oddly, it's very suspenseful and kind of a thriller. Even I've seen all the episodes, and even more than I remember what was going to be on the page, because as an actor you go, oh, you know the ending. And with this, it was like, oh, this is very suspenseful. It's kind of like a who's done it, even though you know the trajectory of Tom's character. They're going to be blown away by Tom, but he goes to another level that I don't think we've seen him do yet, which is really beautiful work.